What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mcfarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Nightwolf. And so here we have Nightwolf pose and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's run through his accessories. Nightwolf does come with a pair of tomahawks, which look really nice. I do like it. He does come with a bow and arrow combination, which do fit in his hands nicely. And then of course we do get the Mcfarlane Mortal Kombat display stand. Other than that, Nightwolf here doesn't come with anything else. So with that out of the way, let's move on to his details. And so here we have a closer look at Nightwolf, and I think Mcfarlane has done a really good job sculpting the Mortal Kombat 11 Nightwolf. Now, it's not my favorite version of Nightwolf. I would have much rather preferred the MK3 style, but because they are doing the MK11, this is what we're pretty much getting, and this is pretty much default Nightwolf, so really nice sculpt work here. I do like the face sculpt on Nightwolf. It is very still work, very nice looking. I love the face paint on him. It looks really nice. I especially love his headgear right here, although like I said, I prefer the older style. I still think this looks really nice. We do have some feathers back here, which those look really nice. I like the blues and the soul reds right there. Really brings the figure all together. And one thing that you don't really notice unless you really look for it, he actually has some braids running down the front of his hair, so really do like that. Really good sculpt work on the front. As far as the rest of his costume goes, it is really nice sculpt work. I can't deny how nice all this looks. There's actually some texturing on every inch of his costume here, so I do like that. We do have some detailing right here that goes all the way around. You can see it goes even onto his back. Now, strange thing is he does have some weapon storage, which is a little bit odd because these are made of really soft plastic and they don't really support any of his weapons. This is supposed to be for his bow and unfortunately not his arrows. And then he does have two more right here for his tomahawks, which again, they're soft, so I don't understand why they are the way they are, but they could have been made of a much sturdier plastic. And another thing that bothers me is, why does he have weapon storage? His weapons aren't real, they're spiritual, so a little bit of a confused look on my face because of that. But overall, do like the design. The belt right here, I think they could have done without it in his overall design, which maybe I might be inclined to cut that off if it's not glued on anywhere, because he doesn't need this belt if we're being quite honest. I don't like the vest either, but again, it has some really good detailing on it, so there is that. You can see some leather right here on the back. We have some pelts right there, which look really nice. On this arm, we do have a wrap with a gold circle on it, some kind of medallion. Then we go on to his wrist guards, where we do have some nice blues with the browns, and then we have that red wrapping going around his arm, and it's the same for both sides. He does have some leather gloves on, which I do like the detailing on them. They didn't quite get his skin tone right. The skin tone right here is a little bit too dark compared to his skin, but you're not going to notice his hands too much. I do like the fact that he does have all this paintwork throughout his body. It's a really nice look for him. You can see it goes all the way up to his neck, down to his torso, and it stops pretty much at his chest. He does have this belt piece that comes down in the front, and it is a separate piece from his vest. I'm honestly inclined to maybe remove the vest and see what we are dealing with right there, because he does look like a really nice figure and the vest does hamper a lot of his articulation, and I really want to see how it functions without it, so that might be a project we might do at some point in the future. But overall, can't really complain about the detailing here on his pants. He is wearing what you would expect a Native American to be wearing. That it's like this really old fabric. I don't want to say old fabric, but old styling fabric with some detailing right here. Really do like the texture work here. It does look like pelts and skin, so that's really cool. I do like his knee pads, even though I don't know why he would be wearing knee pads. On his foot or boots right here, not really footwear, but we do have this really nice blue color scheme right here going in and around these straps, which are done very nicely. I like the sculpt work on these straps. And then he has moccasins right here, which is very common in Native American culture. I do like the fact that they gave him moccasins and not some kind of modern day boot. Although the treads on the bottom are a little bit modern, I do like the classic feeling moccasins right here. So really good detailing here on Nightwolf. It's a very nice looking figure, and even though it's not my favorite version of Nightwolf, I can still respect the amount of detail that they put in this figure, and it looks really nice. So with his detailing out of the way, let's actually move on to comparisons comparing Nightwolf to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Nightwolf posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Nightwolf posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Nightwolf posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And for a final comparison, here we do have the Mcfarlane Nightwolf posed next to a Storm Collectible Scorpion and a Mcfarlane Liu Kang. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Nightwolf's articulation. Now, Nightwolf does have a ball joint in the head. However, because the way his neck is sculpted, this is actually him looking up all the way. If you want his head in a neutral position, he is looking down for some odd reason. I don't understand why that is, but he can look down to about right there. And like I said, that is him looking all the way up, and it gives him a more natural look. They actually sculpted his neck jutting forward, so giving him a neutral position, has his head tilted down. He does have some really nice head tilt because of that double ball joint, so that does work nicely. Does turn left and right really nice. Then he does have a ball joint here in the shoulder, which you can see it moves around very nicely. Goes out to the side, no problem. Now, it would do a full 360, but you do gotta watch out for his vest. That does cause a little bit of an issue when moving his arm around. He does have a bicep swivel, which works fine. We have a double bend here in the elbow. We have a hinge at the wrist, which works really nicely, as well as a ball joint, so really good articulation there. He has a ball joint here in the torso. Now, that's about as far forward as he bends, using both the lower and upper ball joints. Using the lower ones, he does arc back really nicely, which I don't understand why that is. He does have some surprising tilt side to side, as well as some good rotation. Legs do kick forward, only to about right here. There was some resistance in it, so it might have something butting. Yeah, there's something it's butting up against. Maybe his, I don't know what it's butting up against, and I really can't take a look in there, but yeah, his thigh does butt up against something that you gotta force it past. I'll have to take a look at that. Maybe, oh, that's what's going on. The rubber crotch piece is actually getting caught in that joint, so yeah, you do got to be careful with that. You don't want to get it snagged, because then you'll have some problems with the articulation. He does have somewhat of a thigh swivel. It's mainly useless, to be quite honest. We have a double hinge here at the knee. Then we do have a ball hinge here at the ankle, which does provide some rotation, as well as a hinge which moves forward and back. Forward facing pin for rocker ankle, and we can rotate that to give him a true rocker ankle. And then finally we have a very generous toe hinge. So overall, Nightwolf here has some pretty good articulation. It is hindered because of his vest, and I would love to see a second costume of Nightwolf with a different gear set, because it's a nice looking figure, but I would prefer a more rugged Nightwolf, if that makes any sense. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Nightwolf posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Mcfarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Nightwolf pose for my final thoughts, and overall Nightwolf here is a pretty impressive looking figure. Now, I don't quite understand his weapon storage. This is one thing that I'm really confused about. Why does a character whose weapons are energy and spiritual based have weapon storage? It makes no sense. I can understand if his bow and arrow and his tomahawks were physical, but they're actually non-physical items, so the weapon storage is a little bit confusing. Overall, this is a really nice detailed figure, and I do like the fact that despite all his overlays, you can still get him in some pretty decent poses. Now, that's not saying that his articulation isn't limited. It does have its limitations due to how his vest is sculpted, as well as the tunic that he is wearing. Overall, I really do like the way Nightwolf came out. It's not my favorite costume of Nightwolf, and I would love to see Mcfarlane tackle a more classic looking Nightwolf, but this is still a very impressive figure, and if you're deciding on sleeping on this figure, I can understand you not liking the design, but overall this is a superbly done character and I absolutely love the way it came out. Nightwolf here is a welcome addition to my Mcfarlane Mortal Kombat collection, and I really do like the fact that we're getting a variation of villains and heroes for Mortal Kombat. I think that works out really nice. If you are looking for a Nightwolf here, he is starting to hit stores at the time I'm making this video, so go ahead and check your local Walmarts, Targets, GameStops, Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store, and other retailers. I did pick up mine from Amazon for about $19.99, but because the pre-order did get a cheaper version released, I did save about 2 cents on this guy, so 2 cents is 2 cents. But overall, Nightwolf here is a very good figure, and you would be doing yourself a disservice by not including him in your Mortal Kombat collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other Mortal Kombat videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.